short for a stormtrooper?
While I know this may be a hard theory for some to swallow, I think it's actually worth talking about whether Han Solo is still alive or not. Yes, we all know the scene, we all know that brutal moment, but we also know that famous Star Wars rule. If you didn't see them die, they might not be dead. And I mean actually see them die, like Darth Vader on board the Death Star 2 or the Emperor exploding. So what if Han Solo is next in line to receive the classic Star Wars mysterious death? Let's not kid ourselves here. Star Wars is full of crazy events. In Episode 1, Darth Maul was literally cut in half, only to be brought back later with mechanical legs. In Episode 2, Anakin must have fell at least 1,000 feet onto Zam Wesell's speeder and then crash-landed it on the streets. Then, in Episode 3, Anakin was dismembered, burned alive in lava, and eventually wound up in a giant walking iron lung. In Episode 4, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru... Oh. In Episode 5, Luke willingly commits suicide falling down the giant pit in Bespin, only to wind up in a ventilation shaft. In Episode 6, Luke was almost electrocuted to death by the Emperor, and also, let's not forget the famous Boba Fett in the Sarlacc pit mystery. And now, in Episode 7, Han Solo is impaled and falls down a chasm. Now, of course, most of these people that I just mentioned are Force sensitive, and that could be the deciding factor, but that's not the point. The point is that strange, seemingly impossible events happen in Star Wars all the time, and it could be possible that Han Solo is just the next great mystery, at least for now. Sure, he was impaled by a lightsaber, but so was Qui-Gon Jinn, and he survived a good 5 minutes after Maul impaled him. Remember that we didn't see the bottom of that pit, and anything could have been down there. Anything from a ship waiting to depart Starkiller Base, or even a giant cooling tank that broke off before the explosion. And before all of you say that this sounds too far-fetched, remember that Indiana Jones survived a nuclear blast inside a refrigerator. At this point, I don't think that anything is outside of reason for Disney. And yes, once again, the obvious flaw here is that there's no casting for him in Episode 8. But remember, just as I had mentioned in a previous video, he could be reintroduced at the end of Episode 8, or at least the idea of him, and then come back for Episode 9. It would be one of the biggest twists that Star Wars could ever pull off, not to mention a reaction that would truly shock the world. And aside from all of that, I'm sorry, but I just can't believe that that's how Han Solo went out. But now, I want to hear from all of you. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? Leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the great white void. And as always, until next we meet, stay in a galaxy far, far away.
As Han's story came to an end in Force Awakens, how did you feel about the ending? Did you feel good about the ending? Do you like the way his story ended up? Did you see that as Han's ending?
To paraphrase Monty Python, I'm not dead, I'm just resting.